Ramsey show ending. After show beginning. There it is. Make sure we got audio. Test check 1 2. Oh. That was muted. Test check 1 2. There we go. All right. Have my black shirt on like George and John did today. They didn't send me the message about that, but just called an audible. Just doing some YouTube. Maintenance there. There we go. Alrighty. Alright, as the Ramsey show just ended. After show beginning. Coach Steve Money, I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And I'm going to do a little show for you. For shameless plug at the beginning. If you want to see any more of this financial content, answering your financial questions stream that happens on Saturdays and Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern time, which is Ramsey time. It's when the Ramsey show video comes on Monday through Friday, and I do a show at the same time on the weekends. And this show, the Ramsey show Aftershow, used to do this every day, but when I moved, I had to get another job, and the hours don't allow that. But I'm on vacation this week, so I am doing 2 of them this week. The next one will be Thursday the 9th, May the 9th. And so, but in between these 2 shows is the music playlist, and there are 8 or 9, I lose count, Ramsey adjacent songs there. And I'm going to do 2 of them for you, including the live debut. I just recorded this and put it on YouTube. It's been the first. Every other song that I've written, I've debuted it on the Ramsey Show After Show. But I didn't do one around the time that I wrote this, and so today marks the first live performance of it. So let's check it out. It'll, of course, to the tune of One Direction's That's What Makes You Beautiful, and it's called That's What Gives Financial Peace. And it's been a few, I practiced it one time earlier, seemed to do all right. We'll see how it goes. Summer loving, no, wrong song. I see you stressed, I'm hashtag blessed. Just like me, you can be out of this mess. I see that frown, depths up and down, but you can turn your whole life right around. Nobody else will fix it for you, nobody else but you. If only you knew how good it will be, you'd want to get out of debt much more desperately. Drastic change requires action done drastically. You'll come to know, that's what gives financial peace. You got your whole life in front of you, no limit to all those great things that you can do. With all your debt paid off, emergency fund too. You'll come to know, that's what gives financial peace. That's what gives financial peace. You will invest, retirement quest, 15% of gross income is best. Kid college next, then mortgage X. Build wealth and give is what Dave Ramsey directs. Nobody else will fix it for you. Nobody else but you. If only you knew how good it will be, you'd want to get out of debt. That's much more desperately. Drastic change requires action done drastically. You'll come to know, whoa, that's what gives financial peace. You got your whole life in front. No limit to all the great things you can do. It's all your debt paid off. Emergency fund too. You come to know, that's what gives financial peace. That's what gives financial peace. Drastic change requires action done drastically. You'll come to know, that's what gives financial peace. If only you knew how good it will be, you'd want to get out of debt. That's much more desperately. Drastic change requires action done drastically. You'll come to know, that's what gives financial peace. You got your whole life in front of you. No limit to all the great things that you can do. With all your debt paid off, emergency fund too. You come to know, that's what gives financial peace. That's what gives financial peace. That's what gives financial peace. All right, that's not bad. A little bit of trouble with some of the timing in there. All right, so one more song and then we'll get into financial content. How about that? And of course I didn't have it scrolled up all the way to the top. All right. This a parody of sorts of Dua Lipa's Levitating, and this is called Baby Steppin'. If you want to fix your finances, I know a guy can help you get debt free. If you didn't know, he has a show, and let me tell you, the advice is really great for you and me. Step 1, start emergency fund, then it's time to pay off your debt. That's it to the trip, beginning small and slow, you should be winning, you ain't seen nothing yet. You and me, they fun to rub it. Hey, look at us, we're baby stepping. This is the way, we're baby stepping. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, Step 4, Step 5, Step 6, Step 7. We're baby stepping. 1,000 fund, pay up debt, full fund, invest in college, pay up house, build wealth. We're baby stepping. Then you'll be in Step 3, saving for emergencies, and that's financial peace. 3 to 6 months of expenses, you remain conservative, then there's less urgency. Step 4, investing, retirement, needs addressing, saving kids a college gift. Before you know, your Step 6, paying off your residence, Step 7, build wealth and give. You and me, they fun to rub it. Hey, look at us, we're baby stepping. This is the way, we're baby stepping. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, Step 4, Step 5, Step 6, Step 7. We're baby stepping. 1,000 fund, pay up debt, full fund, invest in college, pay up house, build wealth. We're baby stepping. If you pay cash instead of lease, then your wealth will be increased. You can have financial peace. If you pay cash instead of lease, then your wealth will be increased. You can have financial peace. A name for every dollar that's intention. What up, Maddie Bag? Hashtag mention. Do the step let go of apprehension. I said a name for every dollar that's intention. What up, Maddie Bags? Hashtag mention. Do the step let go of apprehension. Just when we're ripping. Hey, look at us. We're baby stepping. This is the way. We're baby stepping. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7. If you make cash instead of leaves, you can see your wealth increase. You can have financial peace. If you make cash instead of leaves, you can see your wealth increase. You can have financial peace. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7. We're baby stepping 1,000 months, pay up debt, full month, stand well, get charming, pay a vow, build well. We're baby stepping. Come on. All right. Fun times. That's baby stepping on the Ramsey Show Aftershow show number, what is it, 371, I think. Yes, 371. How about that? Market report. The Russell Small Cap Index up the most today. As Wall Street loses steam, dollar gains. We'll take a look at that in a second. But basically, dollar gains as investors mull rate cut timing. And so it's all about trying to guess what the Fed is going to do. Don't need those anymore. Singing is done. It's all about trying to guess what the Fed is going to do. And, you know, if there's going to be a rate cut, then I'm imagining all the indices, all the mutual funds, pretty much everything is going to blow up. Let's see, what else can we say? The only thing down today was the NASDAQ. Oh, who was it that lost money? Let's check the Disney had less than expected earnings today, but they did, it says they sunk 9% after earnings report. They did say that there's I didn't read into it, but check into it further, but it says something like one component of the streaming service made money for the first time, but overall not that good earnings. But let's see, so we got Tesla dragging down the NASDAQ, and Microsoft being percentage 1.02% down. Thought it was something else other than Disney that was causing this. What was that? Yeah, I thought it was one of the other top companies that reported like an issue today or something like that, and so their stock went down as well, which brings down the index and the mutual funds that those individual single stocks are in. So in Dow Jones, 0.082%, so barely a change there, 31.99 out of $38,884. Let's see what the rest of the world be looking like, and that's going to be everything up for Europe. Of course, that's before our reporting here. That's before our market opens up as well. And there might be some overlap in there. Asia, mostly down. Currencies, let's see what that dollar does. And normally, as I've said before, normally when the stock market doesn't have that good of a day, it seems the dollar does well. So let's see, euro down against the US dollar up against the Japanese yen, the British pound, love, down to the US dollar up against the Canadian dollar, and it's a clean sweep for the US dollar as it is up over the Australian dollar, mate. Check our pals in crypto, the crypto bros. So with the recent halving, I mean, it's still up there. You can't deny that. But the fact is, well, you know, how long does it stop whenever it has any kind of downage? You see right here, this one, it came back extremely fast, and then it crashed and crashed some more and crashed some more and crashed some more, and it took a while to get back up there. But now it was over that, and then so now it's at lower than even the previous high. And so, you know, what it does from here, we don't know. That's part of why Dave is not into it. The most thing he's not into is that it's not based on anything except what crypto bros will pay for it. And the other thing is, does not have enough of a history to be able to see what's going on. Let's check those futures. So we got futures in the positive here for the indices. Well, we did. Those are live still, and so we did, but those are, you know, that's right, like right at zero. So who knows what will happen tomorrow. So we looked at that. All right, so let's get into questions. This is from Other Praline, 1885. Seeking advice, navigating career transitions, debt management, and relationship dynamics. Need guidance. That's a lot of stuff all at the same time, ma'am. 34, female. I've been on, let's see. Let's not even try. Let's go ahead and open up the whole question. There we go. All right, I'm going to be doing some skimming here. Let's see, quite a ride for 3 years, and I'm wondering if I made a big mistake. Probably 99.9% of this is not needed to give her an answer on this, but let's see what we got. Worked full-time in real estate at a prop tech company. Like, no, that doesn't matter. That does not matter at all. Until 2023, I was in sales as an investment specialist, buying properties for fixed. None of that right. I laid off. Okay. 6 months unemployed. Okay. See, the problem is we can't go back and fix any of that stuff. We have to work with what the situation is today. Desperate 6-month job search. 6 months is a long time to not be able to find a job. After, you know, I mean, after a month or two, I'm taking anything to just start working. And then you can still look for a better job than that. Let's see, pays much less than what I was used to. Yeah, that's the way it happens sometimes. Find the work gratifying. Okay. Bachelor's in public policy and public service. I plan to pursue master's in real estate development. Constant schooling. People get into that rut where I'm just going to take courses all the time. With on-job training and networking opportunities, I aim to advance into senior leadership within the next decade. All right. I mean, you know, you're not no spring chicken at 34. I mean, that's way younger than some of us, myself included. But all right, let's see. 57K now, 13% goes towards the pension fund. And so if you had debt, that would not be happening if you're going to follow Mr. Ramsey's advice. Baby steps right there. Leave me with roughly 49.5 after deduction for taxes, health insurance, FSA, and parking. My net income is around $3,000 a month. I live alone in a 2-bedroom condo that I own. Well, that part's good. Mortgage is not paid for. Got to have a mortgage on it. Okay. HOA fee of $300. Though I'm paying, that's a lot of HOA. 912 mortgage, $300 for the HOA a month. My goodness, I'm paying $474 this year to catch up on missed payments from 2023. All right. You know, you could sell that and rent. I don't know where you are. Let's see, did you say where she was? In my area. So I don't know if you could rent a 1-bedroom apartment for cheaper than that and then have no HOA fee. And then that would give you money to pay your personal loans, student loans, IRS, credit card debt, and that 167K mortgage. Yeah, so I'm selling that and getting rid of that $300 extra payment. Even if you break even, that still opens up $300 a month for you. If you end up breaking even and can only rent a 1-bedroom for $900. Let's see, I'm current on everything except the credit cards, which accumulated due to past struggles, right, with addiction, bipolar, one disorder. While not excuses, I take full responsibility, right, committed to resolving these issues, okay? Side hustle, okay? Recently involved in an HOA dispute regarding major plumbing, adding to my workload. Long as it's not adding to your debt and adding to your, taking money from you. Hesitant to take on more work as I'm already managing 5 capital projects along my side jobs. Ignoring the credit card debt is not sustainable. Eventually, I'll face legal action. Yeah, I would imagine that would be coming up pretty soon if that's been happening as long as the other stuff has been happening. You know, like for over a year. But some of the credit card companies have their own collections department now. And so it may not be sent to collections. I don't know if they work the same way, though, where you can settle for cheaper, even if it's in-house. Let's see, with only $50 in leeway in my budget and no savings, you got to check that budget again and make sure there's no non-necessities in it. You don't have a choice. I'm considering selling my home. Yep, but renting in the city would likely cost more than my current mortgage and HOA combined. Overall, see, that would be the problem then. At that point, I would check for a 1-bedroom apartment and see what the rent is on it. Like I said, even if it is $900, that still gives you the $300 HOA. Relationship with a man I've known for 13 years. I've been dating for 10 months. Despite my past, he accepts and supports me. Okay. We're both working on healthier habits. Not living together. That is wise, as he owns his own home. But we're committed to each other. Though I have some shame about my financial situation, no, he loves me. With little close family, I'm left wondering if I'll ever recover from this and what steps to take next. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. But as far as the money stuff, it's the baby steps. If if the credit cards are not in collections yet, you can try to get those back current. So that's part of baby step 0 is to get current. But I mean, if you haven't paid on those for close to a year, probably no need to start now. And so I would keep everything else current at least and start paying on that other debt. And then once collections on the credit cards contact you, or once you get past some of this and you can save up a little pile of money, then you can do that after you've paid off all your current debt. And yeah, definitely, you know, don't assume, that's the problem. You know what happens when you assume stuff. Don't assume that you cannot find a 1-bedroom apartment that is cheaper than your mortgage. Do not assume that. Let's see. Yeah, see, would likely cost more than what, yeah. Make that known, not just it would likely. Don't give up on that before actually checking that out. That's what a lot of people do, especially when they're already been beaten down by all these life situations. So let's go back to the title. Let's see, address navigating career transitions. I mean, that's fine, but as far as more schooling, you don't have any money for that. So that's a no for me, dog. Unless you have full scholarship or something like that to it. So not, you know, you can do that eventually if you want, but not yet. Debt management, the way you manage it is to pay it off. The relationship dynamics, you don't intermingle your finances. That gentleman's gonna stay your boyfriend for a long time. I mean, you don't have to wait, but I mean, make sure he has the full picture of it, and you both should talk probably more about money than the average couple does. Having been just how long? Oh, you've known him for 13 years. Maybe you talked about it, but I would definitely have a heavy financial talk before, you know, continuing much longer with that gentleman. Just to make sure you both know, because I mean, he may have stuff that wouldn't be good for you as well. So yeah, so that is a lot of stuff all at the same time. And that's rough, but hopefully, the answer's the baby steps always. And that will get you out of it. You just need to, have a really, really tight budget with only necessities on it. It's not going to be fun, not at all. It doesn't, and fortunately, it doesn't promise it's going to be fun in the baby steps. Not even at the end. Build step 7, build wealth and give, but certainly it's more fun than step 1 and step 2 even. Alrighty, let's see. No car note, leveling up 23. Well, I would say if you pay off a car, I would say that gives you enough XP to get up to the next level. I have been wanting to know how life would be. That was in my song, wasn't it? Let's see, how did I go? If only you knew how good it could be, you'd want to get out of debt that much more desperately. Yeah. Let's see. Without a car note, and now I know what it feels like. I paid off my car in April, and it feels so good. I have my title, and it feels so good. We have to celebrate and appreciate the little things. That much is certain. One step closer to my dreams of being debt-free. Excellent. Make it happen. Sir or madam. Mary strategist. Okay. Baby step 4, 5 in action, but have questions. Okay. I have answers. Mostly. Not everything, but mostly. Let's see. The baby steps answers, as they're written, just like right there, you can answer most things. Actively in baby steps 4 or 5, what would Dave advise, or what would you do? Okay, so gonna take just somebody on Reddit, take their advice over Dave. All right. Me, 46, and husband, 51, have a 4.5-year-old daughter. We are putting $1K a month in her 529, balance of $55K. Have $300K in housing fund, save for closing costs and down payment. Okay. Pay $220 in monthly rent. We max out 401Ks and IRA. Okay. After paying all bills, we have approximately $800K per month of discretionary savings for sinking funds and like future housing costs. Add to the $300K. Travel, repairs, etc. Here's the question: how should we attack saving in these funds? The same way we paid off debt, i.e., save for the smallest balance? No, you can do priorities on those. Now let's take a look and see if there's more. Say for the smallest balance. How do you do it? What would Dave advise? Just haven't heard much about this and curious how to attack. Yeah, that would be your priorities on them. For the record, we feel that $4K for unforeseen car repairs on hand makes sense. Sure, okay. I mean, once you're on, let's see, I'm looking for, see the mortgage. Save for closing costs. Maybe they don't have mortgage. Does it say rent? It doesn't say. What would Dave advise? We also would like an annual budget of $15K for travel. Well, then that's, that's what, 1,000, like 1,200 a month, is it? You do the math on that. Something like $1,200 a month then that you start saving for that. Unless you can cash flow it out of 1 month. All thoughts welcome. I know this is a first world problem indeed, but genuinely looking for advice as we have just arrived at this place and don't know how to navigate. Okay, so assuming that they are in baby step 7, meaning they don't say anything about current house, so I'm assuming maybe renters and in baby step 7. Because of no house, they are investing, they are doing kid college already, and so I'm assuming, let's just assume baby step 7 until further notice. If it's not baby step 7, then of course you would be doing the other things. I mean, obviously they're not done with the kids' college, so I guess not baby step 7, but at least like I said, 4 and 5, and so no mortgage yet to pay off early. So being in that position and no debt, at that point, yeah, you are in charge of all of this. This is a lot of stuff. Let's see. These funds. Okay, so after paying on all bills, we have approximately $8,000 a month of discretionary savings for sinking funds like future housing costs. That's in addition to the $300K that they have for closing costs and down payment. What kind of mansion are you going to buy that you're going to put $300,000 down? And the closing costs, obviously, which shouldn't be that much. So future housing costs, is that just like incidentals or like a sinking fund for things that break in the house or something like that? And so the travel, repairs, if you're renting right now, you don't have to pay any repairs on that, or is that? So basically, how should we attack saving in these funds? First of all, I would make them maybe a little bit more specific than you have them now, and then you would put them in the order that you want to have them. So basically, if that travel is important to you and you can't cash flow it out of 1 month, then in that case you would want to be saving like that, say $1,200 a month, $1,300 a month, to get up to that $15,000 a year, so that you'll have that for the next year's travel. And so if that's most important to you, you can put that first. And it's your budget is what it is. And so by not having anything else, you may want to do that. The next thing to consider is maybe not do any of that stuff and just pay more on the house. So, again, it just depends on what these are. Granted, you have cars now probably. And so if you want to save if that's what, like the repairs that you're talking about are for vehicles, like saving for new tires, yes, do that, obviously. But as far as travel, maybe you can wait until after you get a house and get settled in there. Because that is a lot of money to not be adding to that down payment, which will lower the mortgage payment per month and then give you more of your income to add to these funds in the future. So it's really up to you as far as what is most important to you. And the only thing you don't want to do is go to a lower baby step, except if you don't have a house now or you want to upgrade, you are allowed to go back into baby step 3B and save for that down payment, which you are doing as well. And so, like I said, priorities, focus in more on what you want to do instead of having a list of 10 things here, which I'm exaggerating. It's not quite 10 things, but by the time you would break it out into the exact type of repairs they're talking about and the future housing costs, I would like to know exactly what that means. But I would narrow those down. I would further detail those to see what's included in that and to see how much it is that you would need for those things. And again, like future housing costs, you don't have a house yet, so you don't need a fund for that in my mind. If there's an emergency, you would have the emergency fund already, hopefully, since you say you're in baby steps 4 and 5, then you would have the 3 to 6 months and have 6 months if you're planning on buying a house, even before you start saving up the down payment. All right, Nuovo Ramsey Bambino, that means new Ramsey baby, okay. Hesitating on whole life policy. Yes, you should. Oh, surrendering it. Okay. Help, I've got cold feet on surrendering the whole life policy. It's worth about $14,000. It's actually a hybrid policy. It converts to a full whole life over the life of the policy. I'm sure Dave would still hate it. Yes, renew the Dave Ramsey baby steps. And do you understand why? Though we read his book years ago, we started really committing to it this year. At the beginning of the year, we owed around $30,000 on 2 car loans, about $15,000 on each car. Now we got it down to about $11,000 on 1 car. Great. The other one is paid off and title in hand. Surrendering the insurance policy means the last car loan is fully paid. Yep. And that's how you do that. It's fully paid off, yeah, but I feel like a failure surrendering it. Okay, well, I mean, that does happen where people justify throwing good money after bad, and that's why they call it that, good money, because putting money into it in the first place was bad. Because if you want a better way of combining, where you wouldn't actually be combining it, but the whole life combines investing and your life insurance policy. The problem with it is that if you die, they pay the death benefit, but they keep the investment portion of it. So what the advice is instead of paying all that money for more expensive whole life, you get term insurance and then you invest the difference yourself, and you'll do better than their crappy investments anyway. So, and then plus you'll get to be able to leave that investment to someone. And you get of the term life, you get the death benefit paid out as well. So yes, he would hate it. And so, but you know, I mean, that feel like a failure surrendering it. That would be like, if somebody was gonna pay you $5 for an NFT right now because you paid $1,000 before, and you not wanting to get the $5. It's over. It's still a horrible investment. So it's over. Take the $5 and the rest is stupid tax, and that's how it goes. So, you know, feel like a failure. You don't admit you're wrong, maybe. Some people could have that. I've been told before it's like forced savings as it again. They will say anything to get you to think it's a good idea, as it guarantees that I don't spend the money. Right, but if you buy term insurance with that and invest the rest, you're not spending that money. And if you are in debt, you would be, like you said, you would be paying off that last car. So you are spending the money elsewhere on the car loan. So let's see. Like it guarantees I don't spend the money. Dave says to put that same premium in S&P 500. I don't know that he says that. He uses S&P 500 index fund to save for a purchase, to save for buying his real estate. He puts that in S&P 500. For retirement, if this can be part of your retirement, that would go into a managed mutual funds because they make more than the 10 to 12% the S&P averages each year. But not sure I would do that. What would you do with it? Any advice? Should I just hold on to it? No. That's good, throwing good money after bad. So do not do that. And plus, you still have to put money into it, don't you, every year if you keep it? See what other people. Dealing with a sunk cost. If you didn't have it, would you buy it now? If not, get rid of it. Exactly. Reality is it stinks, not a good deal. Exactly. Tell us how much you're paying a month. Yeah, I'm making an annual payment. I put in a comment above. Really? His annual payment did not make it to the. Did it? Let's see. What's his name? Nuevo. I put it in a comment above. Nope. Not on there. Your agent is the only one that loves that policy. Indeed, get rid of it. I actually still have my life insurance. CV policy and love it. There's a way to use these policies to increase your return, but 99% of people don't use them that way. They're still garbage. I don't care what that gentleman says. Let's see. That's not as accurate. Probably accurate for you. Yeah. Whole life never makes any sense. Yeah. Some people they won't ever admit that they're wrong about something. That does happen. Yeah, the only way you should feel like a failure is keeping it one more day. Absolutely. All right. So, yeah, I would like to know how much that costs. And again, that is going to be way more than the term life insurance. It's very much more expensive than that. Term life, very cheap. And of course, another thing, getting current, part of Baby Step Zero. I still need to make a video on Baby Step Zero. Getting current is part of it. Also, getting insurances in place as well. Oliver's mom, 19. Month 4 update advice, please. Okay, month 4. This is not the update I expected to be making. We found out Easter morning that we are pregnant. I'm both thrilled and terrified. For background information, we lost a baby a year ago at just shy of 8 weeks gestation. Tried for nearly a year with no luck. We had said we were done trying and we were going to focus on debt payoff. Apparently someone else didn't like that plan. Yeah, because here we are. And that, it can happen like that, absolutely. Our goal is for me to stay home with baby until they start school, possibly working part-time to help though, okay? Question is, do we keep paying off while adjusting to living? No. So you are pregnant. That means you're in stork mode, and that qualifies as an emergency. And so all of this is paused. So you're paying debt minimums on debts. Everything else, all your debt snowball now goes to just savings. You're just piling up cash until mom and baby are home safe from the hospital. And then you take what hopefully is still a pile of cash, and then you throw that at whatever baby step you're on, which probably will be baby step 2. Learning Finance 1, married couple in 20s, baby still. 707K in debt, down to 591 in K. Great. That's fabulous. Fabulous to run that much up in your 20s and then be able to run it down quicker, or quickly as well. So that means you can get done, maybe you can get done all of this by your mid-30s. And some of us don't get done with that stuff until way later. Let's see, figured I would stop by to give our 5-month progress update. Update. Y'all have been extremely helpful and motivating to us on this journey, so I want to stay disciplined in following through with the process. Updates. Our debt payoff progress is as follows. Starting, let's see, is there more? I think there's more. Boom, boom, boom. Baby step 2 flare. Starting off debt 706, business debt 332K, and the problem with business debt is you signed for it, so that's your debt. You can like have it separate in your mind, but that's still your debt. You're still responsible for it. Auto vehicle debt 120, 105K now. You could save some time by getting rid of one of those cars and getting a beater instead. At least one of them, may if not both of them. Real estate debt, 255K to 248K now. If that's on rental property, you could sell that and then make some of this 590 that's left go away. Over these last 5 months, we have had to make a ton of sacrifice, saying no to family vacations, cutting back on luxury purchases. And that's how you do it. You know the drill, yes, but it has been so worth it, absolutely. We're excited to keep up the gazelle intensity and are confident we will hit our goal of 240K per year paid off if we maintain current pace. Thanks in advance for all the motivation. We got this. Disclaimer, our debt-free figure does include the value of both our home rental property due to us following a Dave-ish plan. Essentially, our only deviations are paying off our house alongside all our other debts. You doing it wrong and doing an avalanche versus snowball when it makes sense. So you doing it wrong. I mean, it's better than not trying to get out of debt at all, but you doing it wrong. 590, over $500,000, started out almost $750,000. No, not almost, but closer to that than $500,000 in debt. And so you would sell that rental property. You can, once you get, if you have that big of a shovel, then you can get back into real estate once you are out of debt. So it doesn't say how much the mortgage is on either of them. And you could always move from your current house. Let's see, the value, it doesn't include the value of our home, rental property. Yeah. So that would not be the advice at all, but people think they know better. They know the best way to do it, and it's their money in their life. So you can do what you want to do. Again, you're the one that's on Dave Ramsey, the Dave Ramsey subreddit, reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. This is not financial advice. This is not what Generation Z does. This is not /anything else. It's /Dave Ramsey. So you might expect the Dave advice on here. That some people go into the Dave Ramsey YouTube chat on his actual show, his actual chat, and then they're like, "Why are you telling me his advice?" Why would anybody say anything other than his advice in there? What to do after they do, of course. What to do after paying off car? My only debt is 210 BMW. I'm not even driving it till I pay it off by beginning of summer or the end. I just need 8 more K. It's a 2010. Yeah, blah blah blah. I don't care about cars. 50K unknown ? Miles. I'm good at wrenching and I'm into detailing, but my insurance is $200 a month. So after I pay it off, should I sell it? How can I get the most out of it? You can sell it now. You would just have to sell it for 8K more than you owe on it. Or not 8K more than you would just have to sell it for what you owe on it, and you could get out of it and save yourself 8 months. Or however long. How many months did you say? No, 8. I got around 80K miles. Didn't you say that already? Oh, the 50K was when you got it. I see. It's in tip 2 shape. Tip OG sticker was around 56. And me with financing. I think I'm paying 20K total. I don't want to pay $200 a month for insurance. You don't have to. It's already income. I can go all the way. Okay. I like, you should have periods and stuff at the end of sentences and so forth. But basically, yeah, you can sell. You don't have to wait just because you owe more on it. You don't have to completely pay it off before you sell it. You just have to sell it for 8 more K than you owe on it. And so the problem would be is if it's not worth 8 more K. I mean, you can still get somebody to pay that maybe, but whatever you can get to pay. If you can get them to pay that much, or you can save up that much, which basically you save that up that much, and then it's paid off by you anyway. See, Dave Ring, just watched enough of Dave's videos. Always catches my eye. It was a right hand ring, his class ring signet. I don't think he's in the Illuminati, so I don't think that's what if I had to guess, I'd say class ring. What would Walt Disney do? He'd storyboard it. Okay. Zealous Ideal ad 9663. European who wants to live the Dave Ramsey lifestyle. You can certainly do that both ways. You can do the step 2 lifestyle and you can do the step 7 lifestyle. That works all over everywhere. I know that I'm at times critical of Dave Ramsey, okay, but need your advice for someone else, okay. All right. But if you're critical of Dave Ramsey, then that means you know enough to know everything, so why do you need to run it by advice for someone else around that? I don't understand that part. Weird. All right, let's see. Someone else, okay. Just purchased 2 books from Dave Ramsey for my brother. I will mail to him. So you're critical of him, but you still bought 2 of his books for your brother. So I don't get that. There was no option to ship to him directly. Needs to be changed. Needs to be changed! Exclamation point. So you're critical about that as well. My brother, 48. They don't have a gift thing where you can do that? Maybe not. My brother, 48, lives in Europe where he has lived his whole life. Don't say whole life, say entire life. I, on the other hand, have lived only in Europe until age 20. My brother has no debt other than his mortgage. Great, amazing pension and paid time off. He buys every year to lower taxable income. His pension now would allow him to retire if he wanted, which he does not. Okay, so what's the dealio? However, if he were to pass away, his loved ones will have nothing except for his life insurance. Okay, you could up the amount of the life insurance. He also only has 1 month saved up for emergency fund. Yeah, he's not doing it correctly. He told me that between his tax return and vacation money, he will have a 4-month emergency fund saved up. Well, it's not. Oh, I see. It's by not taking a vacation. He buys the time. He gets the time. He works during that time, and so he gets the paid vacation, and then also does not stop working, and so he gets. So I get it now. And will take a few months to save up for a 6-month emergency fund. Great. He wants to invest disposable income so that when he passes, his loved ones have more than, even in Europe, it's still THAN, more than for comparison. Then is a time or condition. Than is comparison. More than just a life insurance policy payment. And while alive, he can experience the good life. All great so far, except that his house has been gutted to the studs. No real studs. Everything is concrete or stone where he lives. He needs money to finish the house, period. I told him not to invest and to save up that 6-month emergency fund and sink the rest left over into getting his house in livable condition. He might want to do that. That's probably a good idea. I told him that once the house is done, to save a minimum of 15% to invest and pay off the house. Yeah. Yep. Baby steps. Easy. Easy. I mean, he could sell the house as is. Unless, let's see, is he paying on the mortgage still for that? No debt other than his mortgage. If somebody will buy it for more than he owes on it, I want to get rid of that and rent, perhaps, depending on how old. 48. So, yeah, I would probably want to fix the house because the idea is that's where you'll be retiring, sir. Number of mutual funds. Okay, pass. 5533. I'm on baby step 7. And have $1.8 million in mutual funds between my wife and I. They're split as Dave recommends. Okay, that's your 4-way split into small, mid, large cap, and international. Dave calls them the growth and income. Aggressive growth. Aggressive growth is small cap. The other two I always forget. The large cap and mid cap. One of them is growth, and the other one's called growth and income. Are 18 different mutual funds too many or too few? That might be too many. I mean, a reason that you would keep them is if they take turns being the best ones. And in that case, like for example, I started out with one large cap fund, and then I thought, well, let me see if I can get a better one. And then I found a better one at the time, and so started investing in that. And I did the same thing again later, probably about 3 or 4 months later. And so I got that. And the plan was to stop investing in the one and just do the good one. But since I've done that, they've all taken turns being the best one. And so I still have them all. So I haven't sold and cashed out and put everything into one large cap fund. So I have 3 of them. 18 different is a lot. So I don't know that you need to do that, but like I said, if you're not losing money by doing that, then let's see, most of them have a 10-year return above 10%. If they don't, you could get rid of the ones that don't have the 10-year return above 10%. I'm debating getting out of the lower performing funds. Yep, could do that. Either allocating to the better funds in my portfolio or finding new funds. Thanks. Yeah, you could do that. There's no problem in you don't just have to have the 4 funds. You're just investing an equal percentage, 25% each of your 15% that you're investing before your mortgage is paid off. So 25% of your investing amount, just goes into the category. Now you can't have multiple mutual funds in that category, especially if you want to. That's like an easy way to compare them. If they're like you have 2 or 3 and they're all making more than the index, then have at it, and then you can see how they actually do in your account, rather than just looking at the numbers, when you don't own all of them. So yeah, you can do that. A few applications, 1620. What would Dave do? Been on Ramsey for about a year now, but my own problem has stumped me. That happens a lot. People have a blind spot on their own, with their own things. Like if the same exact situation happened to one of their friends, they could tell them exactly what to do. But because it's happening to them, they're too close to the situation to be able to think about it clearly. And so let's see if that happened. Wife and I want to finish our basement. We're consumer debt free, have $200K left on the mortgage. Median current value $450,000. Have about $110,000 in cash, including emergency fund. Though that extra cash, let's see, 40K gives me 6 months. Okay, so you have another 70. Trying to stay around 25,000 for the basement work, all in, not including furniture. Dave-ish advice accepted. Of course it is. You're only in baby step 1. I don't know why you think you're in baby step 1. So that's weird. Maybe they did it wrong. I don't know. But yeah, okay, so want to finish our basement. Most likely, I would want to pay off the house first before I did any work to it like that, other than repairs. So I would pay it off first, is what I would recommend. I mean, you can, if you have full emergency fund, you're investing, so you're allowed to do your budget, and if you want to apply some of the too much cash that you have already, that should have already been applied to baby steps 4, 5 maybe, or 6, paying off the mortgage. So you shouldn't have had that much cash on hand anyway. It doesn't say anywhere, it says gross savings 3 to 6 months of expenses. It doesn't say, and save up another $70,000 too. It doesn't say to do that. Now, granted, again, you can have sinking funds if you want to save up for tires, like known coming expenses, that kind of thing. But just a general 70 extra thousand over your emergency fund, that's not advised. You need to get to the end of the baby steps instead. And that's the Dave advice. So the Dave-ish advice would be to not do that, and keep. You don't need anybody's opinion, even Dave's, if you want to accept Dave-ish advice. You can just do what you want to do. You like posting here on the Ramsey subreddit and reading over the baby steps and sort of doing some of them. That alone makes you Dave-ish. So you don't need anybody to tell you how to do that. Gemini, about the every dollar of that. What about it? Over the past month or so of reviews for the app on iOS, the reviews have been very bad. Is this true, or are people just hating on Dave? Some of them, I'm sure. I'm sure some of them. and the app and trying to tank it. I'm sure some of them. And percentage, who knows? I'm all for paying for the premium upgrade, but not if what people are saying is true. Laggy, continuous loss of connection to banks, not connecting to banks, taking upwards of a week to update transactions, doubling or tripling of transactions. Would greatly appreciate everyone's current experience using the app. And I have not used the app. When I did use it, I used it on a computer. So I did not use the app. So I couldn't tell you on that. But sure, some people don't like that you have to pay the money to be able to connect it to your bank. And so because of that, they could be making up this other stuff and not actually experiencing it. That's true. And they could also be laggy, loss of connection to the banks. And that could be some other issue other than something wrong with the app. That could be something with their internet. That could be a problem with their bank. Who knows? But, and of course, any app can have problems as well. Affordable from Corny MD, affordable medical school or obligatory service repayment. Does Dave Ramsey have any opinions on taking on student loans with built-in repayment measures? Yeah, no loans. The whole anti-debt thing. The whole no loans. Quit looking for exceptions on loans. Well, there is one. I'll tell you where that is. That would be like the other guy with the car. He owed $8,000 on his car, and he's going to sell it as soon as he pays it off. Dave would be fined with him taking out an $8,000 loan because that immediately gets rid of that payment and lets you sell it. I mean, that particular example doesn't really help because then he still owns $8,000 and he just moved the debt around. So that particular thing doesn't help. But it would still make sense though if he could get anybody to pay more than that $8,000. Anything more than that $8,000, then that is quote unquote profit. Except for the $8K loan that he would have to take out. Let's see. So let me provide specifics. Great, do that. That's not going to change the answer. I've been accepted to 2 medical schools. One of them I can afford my savings if I'm a diet of rice and beans and perform a once a week fast. Okay. Second is far more expensive, but provides the option to repay it via a service obligation through a special academic program, 1 year of service for 1 year of tuition. During the service obligation, I will also be paid a competitive wage. Additionally, the second school will pay me a $24,000 yearly living stipend while I'm a student in their special program. However, if I do not meet the academic requirements of the second school's program, I will be dropped from the program and required to pay my debt back in the traditional way. Yeah, and so you got to be pretty darn sure that's not going to happen. Also, the yearly stipend will cease, of course. So the first school is affordable, but barely. The second school could allow me to... Okay, so the first school, you can cash flow. And then if you flunk out, then it's not a big deal. It's just money and time you've wasted, but you're not in debt. And so that would be the way to go. That would be the way to go on that. The answer is always whatever the non-debt way is the answer. Important emphasis 12. It's emphasis, I knew that. Looking for advice, okay, on debt and life in general. Well, I got tons of it on both. My wife and I have had some rough financial things in the last few years. Mold in our master bedroom, family van engine, which cost a lot to repair. New roof due to Hurricane Ian, which insurance didn't fully cover, and miscellaneous unexpected repairs. We're now looking at needing to spend another $5 to $7K for a new AC unit. Well, what you want to get on any of these repairs is a second opinion. Instead of taking it to one mechanic, taking the van to one mechanic and letting the one mechanic look at it, and say it costs this much, and you just giving into that and doing it and paying it. So the same thing for the new AC unit. You could have somebody else come up there and say, "Oh, it just needs a little Freon." You gotta expect people that make more money by finding more expensive problems than there actually are. You have to expect people to do that because people will do that. Not all of them, thank goodness, but some of them will. Let's see, and my wife is ready to walk away from the house. Interesting, because all the repairs needed. Yeah, so if it's, I mean, that's the problem. That's your thing. The house will gain in equity. It will appraise higher because the equity does go up over time, but it does need repairs as well, and that's hard to handle when you're on baby step 1 or 2. She thinks it will solve our debt problems. Well, your mindset will solve your debt problems. She wants to move in with parents for a year or 2 to regroup, use the house. Yeah, so Dave's not going to tell you to move in with parents. He thinks adults should live on their own. So he's not going to advise that at all. But I mean, did the mold completely get remediated? But yeah, that's something to look at. So you don't, I mean, the same thing with the van, the family van engine. So, I mean, depending on how much that cost a lot to repair, maybe you could have moved down in vehicle instead of doing that. Alrighty, let's see. That's not what I wanted to go to. That one. There we go. That's my page. How about that? Alrighty. Well, oh yeah, I forgot to add my plug graphic. Somehow that got deleted. Alrighty. So I'll just read them from the ticker then. I pretty much know it anyway. My name is Steve Simpson. This is my actual name, but my business name is Coach Steve Money. That's the YouTube channel name as well. And I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you're having money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. It is a video conferencing appointment, so you can do that from anywhere in the whole wide world. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, to Cash App, $Coach Steve Money. I think Cash App is 2 words. I need to fix that. Or a Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, of course, answering your financial questions is the weekend show, and I do that at Ramsey time, which is 4 p.m. Eastern time. I do that on Saturday and Sunday. And of course, the Ramsey Show Aftershow show, the next one of those is going to be Thursday, 2 short days from now. That is Thursday, May 9th, and that will be at 6 p.m. approximately, like 6:05, something like that. The Ramsey Show video always runs over, and so I'll be doing that then. As always, make smart financial decisions every day.